Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Walter and let me tell you something, I'm hyped. We're about to drop some profound knowledge about Peru, but hold up, this ain't your mama's trip to Machu Picchu. Don't get me wrong, Machu Picchu is incredible, but you know me, I gotta find those hidden gems, those off-the-beaten-path adventures that'll make your jaw drop. We're talking about places so epic and visually stunning that they'll make your Instagram feed pop off. Think vibrant colors, insane landscapes, and experiences you won't find in any guidebook, so buckle up and explore Peru as you've never seen it before. This is gonna be wild. Alright guys, first up we're headed to Titicaca, also known as Rainbow Mountain. You heard that right, Rainbow Mountain? Imagine a mountain painted with every color imaginable. It's like walking through a dream or maybe a psychedelic trip, but without the, trip part. Getting there is an adventure. It's a bumpy 4-hour drive from Cusco, winding through crazy high-altitude roads with views that will make you question reality. Trust me, it's worth every bump, every turn, every moment of anticipation. We hopped in a van with some other adventurers, and let me tell you, the energy was electric. Everyone was excited, ready to conquer this mountain and witness something extraordinary. Now here's the thing about Rainbow Mountain, she's a majestic beast, sitting at a lung-busting 17,000 feet above sea level. Altitude sickness is no joke, people, so we came prepared. We're talking coca leaves, water bottles glued to our hands and taking it slow and steady. Acclimatizing is key, my friends. You can't just waltz in here expecting to conquer the mountain without respecting the altitude. But let me tell you, the locals, they're absolute beasts. They run up and down these mountains like it's nothing, all while carrying supplies and offering a helping hand to us struggling tourists. Talk about humbling. After hours of hiking, huffing and puffing, we finally reached the base camp. This is where things got real. The final ascent is no joke. It's a steep climb and the air is thin, but what is the reward at the top? Worth the struggle. The energy among the hikers was incredible. Everyone encouraged each other, pushing through the pain and exhaustion, knowing that something breathtaking awaited us at the summit. And then, there it was. Rainbow Mountain, in all its glory. Words can't describe seeing Rainbow Mountain for the first time. It's like someone took a giant paintbrush and just went wild on the landscape. Stripes of red, yellow, green and blue all blend in this perfect natural masterpiece. We spent hours at the top, just soaking it all in, taking a million photos and trying to etch this moment into our memories forever. The feeling of accomplishment, of standing on top of the world surrounded by such beauty is indescribable. We met other travelers, shared stories, and marveled at the view. It's incredible how something so grand can connect you to the world and the people around you. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the colorful stripes of the mountain, we knew it was time to head back. Leaving Rainbow Mountain was bittersweet, but we carried a piece of its magic. This experience reminded me that the most incredible adventures often lie off the beaten path waiting to be discovered. So if you're ever in Peru, do yourself a favor and add Rainbow Mountain to your itinerary. Just be prepared for an experience that will stay with you long after you've left. Next up, we're diving into an oasis in the desert. Stay tuned, things are about to get wild. Alright, so we've conquered Rainbow Mountain, now get ready for a complete 180. Because we're headed to Huacachina, a freaking oasis in the middle of the desert. I'm talking palm trees, a lagoon, the whole 9 yards, surrounded by towering dunes. It's like something out of a movie, seriously. After a long dusty bus ride from Cusco, we finally rolled into this surreal landscape. The air was thick with heat, the sun was beating down, and all I could think was, is this place for real? But trust me, Huacachina is as real as it gets, and it's a total vibe. Imagine chilling by the pool, sipping on a cold drink with nothing but endless dunes as far as the eye can see. It's the perfect place to unwind, recharge, and maybe get a little wild. Now you can't come to Huacachina and not experience the dune buggies. These things are insane. We're talking about powerful buggies that tear across the dunes at breakneck speeds, sending you flying over crests and dipping into valleys. We strapped ourselves in, feeling the adrenaline pumping, and then we were off. The wind whipped through our hair as we zoomed across the sand, the buggy bouncing and swerving, leaving a trail of dust in our wake. I'm not gonna lie, there were moments when I thought we were gonna flip over, but the driver was a pro. He navigated those dunes like a boss, making sure we had the ride of our lives. After the dune buggy adventure, we decided to try sandboarding. You strap a board to your feet and try to surf down the dunes. Sounds easy, right? Well, let's say it's more complicated than it looks. I wiped out more times than I can count, eating sand and getting tangled in my board. But you know what? It was a blast. There's something so freeing about flying down a dune even if you face planting at the bottom. The key to sandboarding, I learned, is to embrace the wipeouts. They're all part of the fun, plus they make for some pretty hilarious stories later on. As the day wore on, we decided to escape the heat and climb to the top of one of the tallest dunes, to watch the sunset. The view from up there was incredible. We sat there in silence, watching as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in orange, pink, and purple hues. It was the perfect end to a day filled with adventure and adrenaline. Huacachina is a place of contrasts. It's a place where you can find both excitement and tranquility, where the desert meets the oasis and where every day feels like an adventure. Leaving Huacachina was tough, but we knew our Peruvian adventure was far from over. We had so much more to see and hidden gems to uncover and explore. Next stop, we're heading to Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world, to explore the fascinating floating islands of the Uros people. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. It will make a huge difference in bringing you more epic adventures from Peru. Alright guys, buckle up because we're heading to Lake Titicaca. This isn't just any lake, it's a place steeped in history and natural beauty. Imagine a vast expanse of water shimmering under the sun, surrounded by the majestic Andes Mountains. It's a sight that will leave you speechless. And no, I'm not talking about some cheesy bar in Florida. This is the real deal, where ancient cultures and stunning landscapes come together in perfect harmony. This is the real deal, the highest navigable lake in the world. At over 12,500 feet above sea level, the air is thin, but the experience is rich. We're talking 12,500 feet above sea level. That's higher than many of the world's tallest buildings. The altitude here is no joke. High altitude, man. You can feel it. Every breath is a reminder of just how high up you are. But it's all part of the adventure. Getting there is half the adventure. The journey to Lake Titicaca, winding through the rugged Andes Mountains, is an experience. We're talking about a bus ride that snakes through the Andes, with every turn revealing a new breathtaking view. It's a roller coaster of emotions and scenery. Passing villages that seem frozen in time. These are places where traditions are still alive, and the way of life hasn't changed much for centuries. Seriously, it's like stepping back a few centuries. The architecture, the people, the atmosphere, all so authentic and untouched by modernity. But hey, that's part of the charm, right? Embrace the unexpected. These moments are what make travel so enriching and memorable. But let me tell you, the minute you lay eyes on Lake Titicaca, it's like all the bumpy roads and altitude sickness melt away. The sheer beauty of the lake is enough to make you forget all the challenges of getting there. It's like all the bumpy roads and altitude sickness just melt away. It's that breathtaking. The vast expanse of blue water, the clear skies, and the surrounding mountains create an almost otherworldly scene. The water is this crazy shade of blue, so vibrant and clear that it almost looks unreal. It's like nature's own masterpiece. It almost looks like it reflects the sky, creating a mirror image that is simply mesmerizing. You could spend hours just staring at it. The air is crisp and clean, a refreshing change from the hustle and bustle of city life. Every breath feels like a rejuvenation. And then there are the floating islands. These unique islands, made entirely of reeds, have been home to the Uros people for centuries. I know, sounds crazy, right? But trust me, these islands are unlike anything you've ever seen. They float on the water, creating a unique and fascinating way of life. But trust me, these islands are unlike anything you've ever seen. The ingenuity and resilience of the people who live here are truly inspiring. It's a testament to human adaptability and creativity. So these floating islands aren't just a tourist trap. They are a living, breathing testament to human ingenuity and resilience. These man-made islands are home to the Uros people, who have lived on them for centuries. That's right. Centuries of tradition and culture thrive on these floating marvels. That's right, centuries. Talk about resilience. The Uros have managed to preserve their way of life through countless generations, adapting to the changing times while holding on to their roots. Imagine building your entire life on reeds, not just your house but the entire island. Every structure, from homes to boats, is crafted from these versatile reeds. It's a feat of engineering and craftsmanship passed down through generations, covering not just your house but the entire island. They use reeds called totora that grow on the lake. They constantly add more because the bottom layers rot away. It's a continuous cycle of renewal and maintenance. They have to constantly add more because the bottom layers rot away. It's like a never-ending DIY project that requires constant attention and effort. It's like a never-ending DIY project. The Uros people are incredibly welcoming and are happy to share their culture with visitors. The Uros people are incredibly welcoming and are happy to share their culture with visitors. They take pride in their heritage and are eager to educate others about their unique way of life, and are happy to share their culture with visitors. They'll show you how they build their islands, their homes, even their boats, all from these totora reeds. It's seriously impressive. They'll show you how they build their islands, homes, and boats, all from these totora reeds. It's imposing. The craftsmanship and skill involved are genuinely remarkable. Even their boats, all from these totora reeds. It's seriously impressive. And you can tell they're proud of their heritage, and they should be. And you can tell they're proud of their heritage and should be. It's like a giant middle finger to modern society, you know? It's like a giant middle finger to modern society, you know? They're living proof that you don't need fancy technology or gadgets to be happy. They're living proof that you don't need fancy technology or gadgets to be happy. The Euros people have found joy and contentment in their simple yet incredibly rich way of life. So what's it like living on a floating island? Well, it's different than what we're used to. The islands are surprisingly stable, they don't move around that much. But you can feel a slight bounce beneath your feet. It's kinda cool. They have these small huts made of totora reeds and they're surprisingly cozy inside. They even have solar panels on some islands to power up lights and charge phones. So, they're not entirely off the grid. The Euros people are also incredibly resourceful. They fish in the lake, they use the totora reeds to make handicrafts, and they even trade with communities on the mainland. It's like a self-sustaining ecosystem. And let me tell you, the sunsets from these islands are insane. The way the light hits the water, the colors, it's pure magic. Seriously, it is picture perfect. One of the most incredible things about visiting the Euros Islands is the opportunity to connect with the locals. You can hang out with families, learn a few words in their language, maybe even try your hand at weaving totora reeds. It's all about the experience, man. And their food, man, don't even get me started. They make this fantastic trout that they catch fresh from the lake. They cook it over an open fire, seasoned to perfection. Seriously, I could eat that every day. But what gets me is their generosity. They welcome you into their homes. They share their food, their stories, and their culture. It's humbling, It reminds you what's essential in life. It's not about material possessions or chasing likes on Instagram. It's about human connection, about experiencing different cultures, about stepping outside of your comfort zone. Leaving the Euros Islands was bittersweet. It's like saying goodbye to a part of yourself that you never knew existed. But I left feeling inspired, Inspired by the resilience of the Euros people, by their connection to nature, by their simple way of life. It reminds us that there's so much more to the world than what we see on our phones and TV screens. There are entire cultures out there, living in ways we can't even imagine. And that's pretty damn amazing. So, if you ever find yourself in Peru, do yourself a favor and add Lake Titicaca and the Euros Islands to your itinerary. Trust me, it's an experience you'll never forget. Alright, adventure junkies, let's talk about Choquequirao. Have you ever heard of it? Probably not. Everyone flocks to Machu Picchu, and don't get me wrong, it's incredible, but it's also crowded. Like Times Square on New Year's Eve crowded. Choquequirao, on the other hand, is like Machu Picchu's cooler, more mysterious older brother. It's this massive Inca complex hidden deep in the Vilcabamba mountain range. And the best part? You gotta earn it. We're talking about a multi-day trek through some seriously rugged terrain. Steep climbs, narrow trails, and switchbacks that seem to go on forever. It's not for the faint of heart. But trust me, the payoff is worth every bead of sweat. Because when you finally reach Choquequirao, you'll have this incredible sight practically all to yourself. It's like stepping back in time, like you've stumbled upon a secret lost city. So how do you get to this lost city, you ask? Well, first, you gotta get yourself to Cusco, which is like the adventure capital of Peru. From there, you can catch a bus to the town of Cachora, where the trek begins. Here's the thing. You can hire a guide and muleteers to carry your gear, which I highly recommend, especially if you're not an experienced hiker. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can go it alone. But let me warn you, this trek is no joke. We're talking about descending over 4,000 feet into the Apurimac Canyon and climbing back up the other side. It's gonna test your physical and mental limits, that's for sure. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? The first day of the trek is all about descending into the canyon. The trail winds its way through lush cloud forests, past cascading waterfalls and across rushing rivers. It's like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. And the views, man, are breathtaking. These towering mountains surround you, and you can see the Apurimac River snaking through the canyon below. It's enough to make you forget about the burning in your legs. We camped by the river that night. The sound of the water lulls us to sleep. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like waking up to the sound of nature. No car horns, no sirens, just the sound of bird song and the wind rustling through the trees. It's a good reminder to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with nature, to appreciate the simple things, The second day is when things get real. It's a brutal climb out of the canyon, switchback after switchback until you finally reach the village of Marampada. And let me tell you, the feeling of accomplishment when you reach the top is like nothing else. From Marampada, it's just a short hike to Choquequirao. And as you approach the ruins, you can't help but feel a sense of awe. The sheer scale of the place is incredible. Terraces carved into the mountainside, temples dedicated to the sun and the moon, intricate stone carvings that have survived for centuries. It's like stepping back in time to the height of the Inca Empire. And the craziest part, Choquequirao is 3 times the size of Machu Picchu, and only 30% of it has been excavated. Who knows what other secrets lie hidden beneath the jungle floor. We wandered through the ruins for the next few days, absorbing the rich history and enjoying the calm atmosphere. The serenity of Choquequirao is unmatched, presenting a sharp contrast to the crowded and loud tourist destinations. Here you can immerse yourself in the ancient world, sensing the echoes of history in each stone and every path. The peacefulness of this place encourages deep reflection and fosters a personal, meaningful connection to the past. Because unlike Machu Picchu, there are no crowds here, no selfie sticks, just you and the ghosts of the Inca. The absence of modern distractions makes the experience even more authentic and enriching. You can wander through the ruins at your own pace, taking in the ancient architecture's breathtaking views and intricate details. It's where you can lose yourself in the beauty of the surroundings and the stories they tell. It's a humbling experience, you know. Standing among these ancient ruins, you can't help but feel a sense of connection to the past. The sheer scale and craftsmanship of the structures are awe-inspiring, and you begin to appreciate the ingenuity and dedication of the people who built them. It's a reminder of the incredible achievements of the Inca civilization and their deep connection to the land. To the people who built this incredible place, to the civilization that thrived here centuries ago. Walking through Choquequirao, you can almost hear the echoes of the past, the voices of the Inca people who once called this place home. It's a journey through time, offering a glimpse into a world that has long since vanished, but still leaves its mark on the present. Choquequirao is a reminder that there's still so much to explore and history to uncover. Every corner of this site holds a story, every stone has a tale to tell. It's a place that sparks curiosity and inspires a sense of wonder. For those passionate about history and adventure, Choquequirao is a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. It's a call to adventure, an invitation to step off the beaten path and discover this world's hidden gems. The journey to Choquequirao is an adventure with challenging hikes and breathtaking landscapes that make the destination even more rewarding. It's a place for those who seek the thrill of exploration and the joy of uncovering the unknown. So, if you're looking for an adventure off the beaten path or want to experience the true spirit of the Inca, add Choquequirao to your bucket list. It's a destination that promises a journey through stunning landscapes and a deep dive into the rich tapestry of history and culture. The spirit of the Inca lives on in Choquequirao, waiting for those willing to seek it out. Trust me, it's an experience you'll never forget. The memories you make here will stay with you forever, a testament to the enduring allure of Choquequirao and the timeless spirit of the Inca. So there you have it, guys. 3 incredible destinations in Peru that are off the beaten path. We hiked to the rainbow-colored mountains of Vinicunca, surfed down massive dunes in Huacachina, and explored the floating islands of Lake Titicaca. We pushed our limits on the challenging trek to Choquequirao and stood in awe of the ancient Inca ruins. We experienced the warmth of the Peruvian people, tasted the incredible food, and created memories that will last a lifetime. But listen, this is just a taste of what Peru offers. There are countless other hidden gems out there waiting to be discovered. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, book your flights, and get out there and explore. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more travel tips and adventures. Until next time, keep exploring.